Yeah, I was wondering about your boy. This brand new video for you guys today, and welcome to the channel. Your boy just woke up, but I woke up with an idea. Let's do a character tier list for a Baldur's Gate 3 characters while I sit here, and play a lot of Starfield as we try to get Starfield done for Starfield reviews. It's gonna take a while. So might even have like the Life of P review out before we have the Cyberpunk review out. Saying it comes on Cyberpunk DLC. Let's say Cyberpunk twice. Let's say Cyberpunk twice. I just woke up. Anyways, today we're going a tier list video for Baldur's Gate 3. Just the companions, no one else. So it's gonna be a quick tier list video. You got S tier for obvious reasons, best boy for obvious reasons, A, B, C, D, and trash. I know a lot of people are like no one's trash, everyone's great. I feel like a lot when it comes to Baldur's Gate 3 characters, and this comes from someone who has 9 characters now, beat the game twice, I'm about to beat it a third time. So I played a lot of this game. Like we're pushing 300 plus hours when it comes to this game right as of the timer's video. I'll probably have 1,000 hours in this game before before December or before the end of the year. So I play a lot of Baldur's Gate, and I'm very thorough. I'm saying all this just like a disclaimer, so it's like this is not like some kind of hatred video. Someone who didn't finish the game. So I see a lot of people on Twitter who never just want to say something bad about a companion. They'd be like, "Well, if you don't like that companion, it's because you didn't get the mechanics. It's because you are still in Act 1, and in Act 3 they become a better character." I've beaten the game twice. I've done all the missions. I know about the companions. Anyways, let's get started on this tier list. And we're going to start off with a bang because the first one is Astarion. I honestly think Astarion's popularity is just because people aren't attracted to him. That's just it. I think if people weren't weren't attracted to Astarion, or attracted to like his accent, the whole love for vampires we have in our society, like a lot of times you see people on Twitter or anywhere social media talk about Astarion, they always are just like massively attracted to him. But as a character, Astarion is one of the weakest characters in the entirety of the game. Like, he's trash. Like, not only is he trash, not so like his build. You can make his build whatever you want. Like, you can multi-class Astarion and have him being one of the best assassins in the history of assassins. But the issue with Astarion is he's an unreasonably evil character. And people will make an excuse that, oh, he has all this trauma from 200 years of dealing with Cazador and stuff like that. I'm just like, sure. But your trauma isn't an excuse to be a piece of shit. Like, you need to understand this in our society. Trauma does not equate to it being okay for someone being a bad person. Like, how do you handle trauma? How you handle your trauma? But it's not our responsibility as a society to put up with your evilness because you have trauma. It's just reality. Astarion went through what he went through with Cazador, but Astarion also, and this is going to be a spoiler. So if you haven't beat the game yet, we're going to be spoiling things in this video. But Astarion also is someone who wants to become a vampire lord essentially and kind of just rule humanity. That's what his goal is. He wants to be in Cazador's position. He's okay with killing 1,000 freaking other vampires, including the vampire kids. He's okay with all of that. He's okay with doing some really, really heinous and terrible things to have power, where he is not shy about saying that, yeah, once you're done with the absolute, I want to rule this fucking world. That's like, those are his actual freaking words. And it's like, that's the guy who y'all think people are misunderstanding. Astarion is trash. Like, he's just trash. The meme is to kill him at the beginning of the game. And 2 of my characters, I've killed him. Technically 3 of my characters I've killed them, not my characters I've beaten, except remember I have 9 characters. One of the characters I went through his entire story arc. I let him become a vampire ascended, and after he said all the things that he plans on doing, I killed him. I was like, all right, my dude, you're a little evil. Like, we can't be having this. Then another character I had, like the first time we see him, I just like ended him. And the third character is actually an origin character. I was playing as Karlach, and I killed him when I was playing as Karlach. My primary character, if you watch the Let's Play, I actually went through his story mission, and I took the moral high ground and didn't allow him to become a vampire ascendant. And then he was like, "Yo, fuck you," and then left the party. And I was like, "I don't care, leave the party." Like, that's an actual thing. Watch the Let's Play. That's what happened. Maybe I'll put a clip in here of that moment in this video.
As for those wretches in the cells, if I don't get my freedom, neither do they. It's over. I'm done with this. And I'm done with you.
Okay, bye, bitch.
I would say good luck out there, but honestly, I hope you die screaming.
Anyways, we're spending too much time on Astarion. Scratch, the best boy. Simply put. Gale, you know what's funny about Gale? During early access, people didn't like Gale, and because of that, Lurian did like a little bit of rewriting because they feel like, you know, he was being misunderstood and things like that, and people weren't really understanding Gale entirely. And then when the full game came out, he's basically like the horniest character in the game who's just constantly trying to fuck everybody when it comes to like your character. And you know, his dialogue is in a way to where you could unintentionally romance Gale without even knowing that you're romancing Gale. Like just out of nowhere, he's like, "So you want to have a nice sit by the stars and talk about our lives together?" Mm-hmm. But when it comes to Gale as a character, I think he's actually a pretty solid character. He's interesting, you know, the whole thing about him with you know, the little exploded ball of magic in his chest. And he's a deep character, a little emo when it comes to how, you know, emotional he tends to be. Which isn't a bad thing, just like, you know, just giving you his character background. I think Gale's a solid character. We'll give him a B. Housing, I feel like Housing, talking to him is like talking to a freaking a board or a brick wall. He's kind of boring. He's not trash, you know, he's kind of cool when it comes to the whole druid stuff, but it's kind of boring. We'll give him a D. Jaheira is someone who I wish we actually found earlier in the game, because I would love to have spent more time with her character with my team. You know, I'm gonna definitely have her as like my main rogue in my characters where I don't have a rogue. My primary character is a rogue. My other primary character is also a rogue. Well, rogue ranger. One's a rogue, one's a ranger. So I mean by that. But you kind of always want to have at least one person in your party who's like really good, have like a high dex. And Jaheira is a druid rogue as multi-class. I think her, obviously she's a legacy character. You know, she is in the first Baldur's Gate game, so there's more to her than pretty much everyone else on this list, other than Minsc, who's also a legacy character from previous Baldur's Gate game. Her voice acting is really good. Her dialogue is really good. I would say she's definitely an A-tier character. Karlach is probably one of be the easiest one to say S tier. Everything about Karlach is great. You know, she's a very lovely character. She's really fun. She's hilarious when it comes to like her dialogue when you're fighting. Like whenever you sit her to, like, cause it's a turn-based game, so whenever you see Karlach go attack somebody, she's like, "Oh, that poor fucker," and it's like, it's so hilarious to me because it's like, damn. Her romance scene, her romance option, like her romance, the entire thing when it comes to her character's romance, is probably one of the deepest in the game. One of the more heavy ones when it comes to emotion, which is why people were very, very vocal about Larry needs to like do something about how her story ends, because I feel like her story, where her story ended, was not fair or wasn't a good climax for her story, because everyone else in the game kind of have a good climax in her story. Like, you know, spoiler alert, again, it's a spoiler video. You know, Lae'zel, if you do things in a way that she wants it to be done, she pretty much becomes a liberator for her people, and that's like the thing she wants the most. You know, for Shadowheart, you know, if you do the good option for her, she becomes, you know, this very, I won't say emotional, but she becomes stronger mentally and emotionally, and she's no longer carrying any kind of like trauma baggage or trauma. And you know, it seems like I said, she has clarity on where she is in life towards the end of that. Wyll, he also has a little bit clarity. He doesn't get you know, the ideal situation, but you know, the situation that he does get, he accepts it, and he's kind of choosing it more so than being forced onto it. So it's like when it comes to Karlach, her just didn't seem complete. So they actually did come up with an update to actually change Karlach's story to be a little bit more fine tuned to like how just being a little bit more clarity for her character. Yeah, everything about Karlach is great. There's not a single thing on Karlach I'll say is bad. She's one of the best characters in the entire game. Lae'zel, I really like Lae'zel. I want to say Lae'zel's also S tier. Also, for those who watch my tiers videos, I do like those videos, especially my comic book channel. If it's to the left is the best. To the right, not the best. So I do think Karlach is a better character than Lae'zel, but I think Lae'zel has such great dialogue in the game. She's such a great character. People have this thing about Astarion when they say, like, if you don't like Astarion, just because you killed him at the beginning of the game, you didn't give him a chance to grow on you throughout all 3 acts. That is what people should say about Lae'zel. Lae'zel is a hard-nosed, aggressive, mean person at the beginning of the game. But the more and more you talk to her, the more and more you do her missions and you have her in your party, she really grows on you. She's a great character. And it's not gonna take you to Act 3 to realize that. Like you don't notice that by the end of Act 1 and going into Act 2 and like how great of a character Lae'zel is and how useful she is. A lot of the times, especially my second playthrough where I play as a monk, I have her and Karlach in my party at the same time, and it's just we be clapping them cheeks, not in that way, but like we be like just straight up just destroying everything in our path. Minsc, kind of like he's kind of the same situation as Jaheira, where it's like legacy characters, so therefore he has way more backstory, way more lore, way more character development than anyone else on the list. I don't think he's as likable as Jaheira, but he's also pretty hilarious. Him and his little pet guinea pig was it a hamster? I don't remember. I'll say he's a C tier character, which C tier isn't bad. It just means he's average. Minthara. She's the peak of evil, essentially. Like, a lot of the characters who you have your companions are all like, morally good characters. Except Astarion, who's, just evil. I guess if you want to like call it like Minthara is chaotic evil. And, Astarion's just evil. You really can't even like have her your party unless you like legit allow the tieflings to die, which by doing so you will lose some of your companions. Like, she has one of the most complicated ways to become a party member, and by doing so you literally lose Wyll as a companion, because he'll abandon you. You lose Karlach as a companion, she'll abandon you. A lot of your other companions will just frown at you. You won't get housing, and then and that's all just to get this one person who pretty much you won't really get your affinity up with her unless you're like making bad decisions. So like if you're having like a bad boy playthrough, she would be ideal. She's a cool character. We put her as a D. Sorry, that is notification. Baby Owlbear, put him as a best boy. Shadowheart, S tier, top tier S tier. Like she's Shadowheart's best character in the game. Like just outright best character in the game. Everything that goes on with her from the moment you meet her in that little pod to like the end of her quest line, it's just so good. She's such a great character. Everything that goes on with her when it comes to like the night song and her parents and being basically like you get to meet a god essentially and pretty much piss that god off. Everything about Shadowheart's definitely just really good. Her Karlach and Lae'zel to me are the pillars of the companions in this game. Like, if I'm being real with you, they're all three of them are great. You can't go wrong with either of those three. Volo's annoying, but that's kind of like the point of his character. He's supposed to be annoying. There's way more to Volo than meets the eye. Like if you read like a lot of there's like notes you'll come across and books you come across that mention Volo. And so there's definitely more to him than that meets the eye. There's definitely more to him than what you would expect or what you would think. You would think he's just some idiot freaking poet or bard or whatever who just has a habit of being in a worse situation. It's like there's times every time you find him, he's either locked up in a cage or ready to be killed or something like that. And it's like, how does he keep finding so many situations? And it's like because there's more to him than meets the eye. I think he's a C tier character, not better than Minx, but he's a C tier character. Wyll is complex. When I say that, because I think Wyll can have a habit of being just like housing, aka being a boring board of dialogue. And sometimes it can be just like Gale, where it's like, you know, just this deeply emotionally tuned male who, you know, will easily fall for your character, just like Gale, who's going through a lot of torment and trauma. Probably some of the worst trauma when it comes to, like, I won't say the worst, probably has the worst trauma in the game. No, like the people who like Astarion, like, no, but Astarion, shut up. Karlach literally has a freaking like engine in her chest for a heart and that can explode and kill her. Like, that's not, other than a Cazador little ritual, Astarion doesn't have anything to worry about. You know, the only person who could compare to Karlach in that situation would be Gale, but that becomes stabilized. But for Wyll, who we're talking about, you know, the whole thing with Minthara and the thing with his dad, we watch what happens with his dad in real time. But watch what happens with Minthara in real time, where he goes from, you know, being a human to being transformed into a devil, and, you know, there's always this different kind of clause within his contract that he made that because of the pact that he made with Minthara. It's like, it's just, he's in that sad boy stage. Will's a sad boy. I think as an overall character, he's not better than Gale, but I think he's definitely a B tier character. I think he's like close to being C tier because of how boring he can be. Because sometimes Wyll can be pretty freaking boring. He is pretty much, you know, a blue boy, if you know the term blue boy when it comes to comic books. But he's a good character. I think that's what stands out when it comes to like me and Wyll. But yeah, that's it for my tier list. This video, considering how many people there are, you would think it wouldn't last as long, but it's me, and I'll always give back a good, like, you know, reason for why I make a choice that I make, and give you good details on why characters should be where they are. You know, I think it's a good tier list. You know, make your own tier list if you disagree. Yeah, I don't know, if you disagree, that's on you. That's not on me. I'm not gonna change them out because you don't like the tier list. But yeah, this is just a quick video. Well, it's not really quick. It's almost 17 minutes. This is just a nice little thing to do in between of getting some other stuff out, because again, we just had the Final Fantasy video, which, thank y'all for watching that video. Final Fantasy video did pretty good when it comes to viewership. I definitely appreciate all those who tuned into that video and, you know, gave it likes and made comments. You know, definitely really appreciate the feedback that video got, and that goes back to what I said before about how nice of a community that game has. Because, like, you know, I've never made a video for that community, period. My first video for that community, and it did very, very well. So I really appreciate Final Fantasy fans and gamers out there who watched that video. But we're working on Starfield, because, you know, that's the current new game. It's gonna take a while to get done with that game and get a review out. But then also we got Cyberpunk's DLC coming out, and then we also have Life of P. So there's gonna be some future content, but things are going to slow down as we try to get those that content, you know, played, and then, you know, reviews written and edited. But, you know, I'll try to still get videos up as often as I can on this channel. Comic book channel is actually getting more videos now than it has before, because we're doing tier list videos over there. And then the sport channel gets videos every single week. Right now we're getting like we're doing like our NFL pick'ems on the sport channel once a week. And any kind of dialogue, any kind of conversation that I don't have a sport, so I bet once a week as well over there on the sport channel. But thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoy. Do all things, y'all worth them likes. Links in the box below to get you to use my link tree. Link tree has all of my links to all my YouTube channels, as well as my Twitch stream, my socials. If you want to keep up with me and things like that. The Twitch stream will also be in the box below, just separately if you want to watch play Starfield, Life of P, Cyberpunk's DLC when it comes out, Payday 3. You know, we're variety content creators, getting a little lonely over there, so come watch me on Twitch. I'll be your boy. Y'all stay good. Y'all stay happy. Stay true to yourselves. I'll catch you. I'm out of here. Deuces.